This is where powerful corporations finally pay for what they've done. A new case every week. They told their followers they were special. They told them they had found the truth. They told them that leaving meant destruction, that questioning meant betrayal, that obedience meant salvation. And millions of people believed them. Some gave everything they owned. Some gave years of their lives. Some never came back at all. But here's what every cult leader eventually discovers. No matter how many followers you have, no matter how much power you accumulate, no matter how many people call you God, justice has a way of finding you. And today, we're covering the cult leaders who finally got what they deserved. Let's start with the man who called himself Vanguard. Keith Raniere founded NXIVM in 1998. On the surface, it looked like a self-improvement program. Thousands of dollars for invitation-only courses, promises of personal growth, clarity, and success. Celebrities joined, millionaires joined, Hollywood actresses joined. At its peak, NXIVM had tens of thousands of members across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. But behind the self-help branding, something deeply sinister was happening. Raniere had created a secret society within NXIVM called DOS. Members were told it was an exclusive group for high-achieving women. What they weren't told is what membership actually required. They had to provide collateral, compromising photos, personal secrets, information that could destroy their lives if released. And then, they were permanently marked as a sign of loyalty and submission to Raniere. Raniere was convicted on charges including racketeering, trafficking, forced labor conspiracy, identity theft, and exploitation of vulnerable followers. U.S. District Judge Nicholas Garofis called Raniere ruthless and unyielding in crimes that were particularly egregious because he targeted young women. Raniere was sentenced to 120 years in prison. Standing in court, he showed no remorse. "I do believe I am innocent of the charges," he said. "It is true I am not remorseful of the crimes I do not believe I committed at all." 120 years. No remorse, no regret. The Vanguard had finally met his match. If you made it this far, you already know this channel is for you. Hit subscribe so you never miss a story. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. Because NXIVM is just one story. There are dozens more, and some of them are even darker. Let's go back to 1978, Jonestown, Guyana. Jim Jones had built what he called a paradise, the People's Temple, a community where everyone was equal, where racism didn't exist, where the poor and marginalized could find a home. Thousands of followers sold their possessions and moved to the jungle of Guyana to build his vision. They called it Jonestown. But paradise quickly became a prison. Members were not allowed to leave. Mail was monitored. Relationships were controlled. Followers who tried to escape were brought back by force. And Jones, who had started as a civil rights preacher, had descended into paranoia and drug addiction. On November 18, 1978, a U.S. congressman named Leo Ryan visited Jonestown to investigate reports of abuse. He tried to leave with a group of defectors. Jones had them shot at the airstrip. Then he announced what he called revolutionary suicide, and 918 people drank a poison drink that ended their lives, some willingly, many by force. It was the largest single loss of American civilian life before September 11, 2001. Jones died that day, found with a gunshot wound to the head. Whether by his own hand or someone else's, nobody knows for certain. But the judgment of history has been clear. Jim Jones was a man who led nearly 1,000 people to their deaths and called it salvation. Now let's talk about a cult leader who didn't escape justice. In 2026, a California man named Sansue Bee was sentenced to 225 years to life in prison. Vang had founded a religious organization in 2020 and recruited families from across America to join his community in Northern California. During trial, testimony revealed that Vang had exploited and abused multiple followers within his congregation, using his position of power to silence victims for years. The supervising deputy district attorney said Vang founded an organization that created opportunities for him to exploit the power he imagined for himself, and used the organization's structure to silence victims before they found the courage to come forward. 225 years. For a cult that had only existed since 2020, it took less than 6 years for justice to arrive. And then there's the United Nation of Islam, a Kansas City-based group whose leader claimed he was Allah, that he had the power to create natural disasters, that he could decide who would burn in hell. The group operated in 12 states and had thousands of members. But behind the religious facade, followers were being forced to work long, unpaid hours. They were abused, isolated, exploited. In August 2025, 6 cult leaders were sentenced for forced labor conspiracy. The ringleader received 10 years in prison. The Assistant Attorney General said, "These sentences reflect our relentless pursuit of perpetrators and our determination to seek justice for survivors." So what do all these stories have in common? Every single one of these leaders used the same playbook. Step 1. Find people who are lost, lonely, or searching for meaning. Step 2. Give them a community. Give them belonging. Give them a purpose. Step 3. Slowly isolate them from friends and family. Step 4. Create a system of control, blackmail, shame, fear, financial dependency. Step 5. Exploit them for money, for power, for personal gain. And the most chilling part? It works every single time. Because the need for belonging is one of the most fundamental human needs that exists, and cult leaders are experts at exploiting it. But here is what has changed. The internet changed everything. Former members can find each other online. They can share their stories without fear. They can warn others before it's too late. Journalists and documentarians can investigate and publish, reaching millions of people. And law enforcement is finally taking cult abuse seriously. Keith Raniere, 120 years. Sansue Bee, 225 years. 6 United Nation of Islam leaders convicted and sentenced. The message is finally getting through. No matter how many followers you have, no matter how powerful you feel, no matter how many people call you God, justice will find you. Cult leaders built empires on the most vulnerable people in society. They exploited loneliness. They exploited faith. They exploited the human need for connection. And for decades, many of them got away with it. But the walls are closing in. One by one, they are finally getting what they deserve. The only question is, how many more are still out there? If this video made you angry, good. That anger means you're paying attention. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Share this with one person who needs to see it. It costs you nothing. But for a small channel like ours, every single interaction tells YouTube this story matters and helps us reach the people who need to hear it. We don't have a massive budget. We don't have a team of hundreds. What we have is you. And next week, we're covering a company that did something even more outrageous than this. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because you do not want to miss that one.